Hey YouTube, guess what? We're back in the shop again today. We're working on the truck again. I finally found something I've been needing for a long time. So I've wanted / needed a gooseneck hitch in this truck for quite a while. I own a gooseneck trailer, haven't been able to pull it, but so I've just gotten by, and I've been looking and looking and looking for a used one. Some say I'm a little cheap, but I knew they were out there. I just had to find one that fit the truck, and luck would have it, I ended up finding one the other day, like 7 miles away from the house for $250. So here it is. We finally got it. It's a little crusty. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I don't have time to strip all of that powder coating off. We're just gonna clean it up a little bit and shoot some paint on it so it doesn't rust too much more, and see if we can get this thing installed today. Well, we've got it all broke down into its individual pieces. This is what I was talking about on the rust and stuff. This is kind of the bad side of powder coating. Once water starts getting in somewhere in a nick or a scratch or something, it starts peeling up. The other thing is unless you peel every last bit of this off, strip all of it off, there's no good way to recoat it. So I'm just going to hit it with a wire brush, clean up the edges, and spray it with just some cheap gray spray paint. Just get it cleaned up a little bit, keep it from rusting too much, and we'll get to putting this in. This came off of a 2001 Chevy 3/4 ton. My truck here is a 2007 Classic. From what I can tell, all the kits and stuff online show that there should be the same one, and from watching videos on YouTube here, it looks like this ought to work out. They did, you can see here, they removed this with a torch. They did a pretty good job, but you can see that's where a lot of this stuff is burnt off. They cut through my safety chain bolts, and then there's some U-bolts that hold it on the bottom that they cut through. I'll probably have to make something new for that. We'll see how it goes, but we'll get stuff cleaned up, start getting this painted. I'm doing this now and letting the exhaust on the truck cool off a little bit so I can get under there and get to work here in a minute. Well, this is what I'm dealing with after the wire brush. It's still, I tried to smooth these edges as much as possible or get all the loose stuff as good as possible, but I just don't have time to get this as good as I'd like for it to be. I've actually got a load of hay that I need to haul tomorrow. That's why we're kind of rushing to get this in. But I'm going to spray a little paint. I did get this area pretty good because you'll be able to see it from the bed, and then I'll get that painted up good. But we'll do that, see if we can get some stuff drying, and then we'll get under the truck. Okay, I don't know how well you can see, but according to the instructions, the first step is to remove this heat shield. So this is on the passenger side, right in front of the rear end. So this will be right above probably where the stock muffler is. My truck had an aftermarket exhaust on it when I got it, so mine's probably a little bit different, but either way, I'm just going to use some tin snips to get this off. Okay, and here's the exciting part. I'm going to take my perfect bed floor and try and cut a 4-inch hole in it. They say to use a hole saw. I don't have one. I've got one of these. It's kind of a neat tool. I saw a friend of mine who does HVAC work use it. They use it to cut holes in ductwork. It's made by Malco. And basically what happens is this is a drill bit slash kind of a mill bit side cutter. You'll drill a hole, you stick this point, it's adjustable for different sizes. You stick this point in the hole and then you work your way around. So this isn't exactly what this is intended for. I mean, it's sheet metal, but it works best on flat metal. So we'll give it a shot. I'll probably have to finish up some of it with a saw, but here goes nothing. Guess what? I screwed up. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that point came loose. So, believe it or not, I did exactly what I didn't want to do. This bolt loosened up and it slid back this way, making me veer off. So, I got it reset, tightened it down as much as I could. So I guess we'll just continue on and see what happens and deal with it from there, I guess. Well, that would have worked pretty slick had I tightened that up the first time like I was supposed to. I'll show you what I'm dealing with. It's not very good. See that pretty little deal there? Oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I guess for now this is what I got to deal with. So I'll continue on with the hitch and see what I can figure out about that later. Okay, the next step is to install the cross members. I didn't get this one painted, but it'll be alright. So in order to install a cross member, you got to slide them here between the frame and the bed, and they give you information on a notch to cut. That there's a little flange that hangs down on the edge of the bed there, and so it says to cut it with a pair of 10 snips or something. Mine was double thickness and it was pretty hard to cut, so I ended up using a grinder and a cutoff wheel. And then the other thing it mentions, so I've got new hardware to put this in, but so this bolt will be above the gas tank whenever the cross member's in there. And one thing they mention is to find an O-ring that fits the bolt and put on there, and that will hold that in place until you get the center section up and get a bolt on it or a nut on it. So I did that, and then it looks like it's going to slide in here pretty easy. So I'll get that slid in and the back one, and then I think the next section or the next step is to get the center section put in. Alright, the next step is to put the center section in. As you can see, this is how I set it up. I've got my engine hoist here, and with the ball out, I've got just a circle strap, a chain or anything else would work, and I just ran that around the pin that locks the ball in place. So, and lifted it up from there. It did take a little bit of guiding from the bottom side, so it would be handy to do with two people, but I got it done with one. On the bottom side, I did not remove the spare tire or the tank valve that it talks about. It would have been easier to do with those removed for sure, but it wasn't terrible with those in place. I did it here by myself and was using the engine hoist. So now I'll slide under there, see if I can get some bolts started from the center section to the cross members, and then after that will be the brackets on the outside. Okay, we got the center support bolted in. Next we'll be assembling the side brackets. So we've got these put together. Again, new hardware. These are carriage bolts, so this will be the frame side. I think they kind of need to be carriage bolts just for the low profile because they'll be squeezed up against there. The trick is now, this is one of the pieces that I'm missing, is there will be a U-bolt that goes around the frame, down and around, and then sticks back out these two holes, and there will be nuts that need to go on those, and I do not have those U-bolts. So we're going to see if we can make some. I measured this, and from the inside of this hole to the inside of this hole is 8 1/4. So we'll get our all thread here and see if we can get some bent up that are going to be accurate enough to work. So let's see how it goes. Well, it got a little late on us. It got dark out there. Had a little bit of trouble with the whole U-bolt thing. So my grand idea, or at least what I thought would work anyway, is I was going to take this 1/2 inch all thread and bend it. Well, as you can see, trying to get a good tight bend on it really didn't work. I tried heating it a little bit. That did even less. I don't have a torch or anything to here that I can heat it up hot. So I had to abandon that and decided to go with this. So what I ended up with was just a piece of flat plate with 1/2 inch holes drilled in it. Then we'll stick it through with a couple pieces of all thread like that, and then we'll washer and nut on the other side when it goes through our side brackets. So let's see if we can get these installed. Well, I didn't make you suffer through the whole thing, but the improvised U-bolts worked pretty good there. Oh, that's too bright. They tightened up nice. We got our back bolts put in, and then tightened down the carriage bolts, tightened everything with the center section, and then put in the handle. So all that went pretty well. We've got the ball dropped into place, so there's only one other thing left to do. There it is. It's ready to use. So we'll get hooked up tomorrow and see if we can haul some hay. Here it is the next day, and we're giving it a try. This is actually the third load for the day. Everything's been working great. Of course, the hitch isn't moving or doing anything, so I guess I got it right. But I'm glad to have it, and this trailer now will get a lot of use. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw.